What's up guys, welcome back to the channel once again. So guys, Maga Floridas, they are having a rude awakening simply because of how they voted.
Yeah, we voted for Trump in 2016, 2020, and 2024. We live in the Florida Panhandle, and we thought that this would be good for our business, but we're finding out now that we were wrong, and I want to publicly say that we are regretting our votes at this point. My husband and me own a construction company, and we literally do not have workers anymore. Most of our workers are from Mexico, and they're good, hard workers. I talked to a few of them, and they said they were just too scared to come back to work because of all the raids. Our construction company is likely to go out of business now, and we don't know what we're going to do, but we're never voting for a Republican again. Ron DeSantis and Trump have been passing laws that negatively affect our business, and I just want to say that I'm sorry for voting for him. I grew up Republican, and it's all I've ever known, but now I can see that me and my whole family have been very wrong about this. So we hope that 2026 comes and we can take back the House and the Senate and stop him from what he's doing. There's a special election coming up in Matt Gaetz's district, and we're going to do everything we can to advocate for a Democrat taking that seat.
So right now we are seeing that majority of Maga supporters, not only Maga in Florida, a lot of Maga supporters including Maga farmers, they are coming out and crying simply because of how DJT policies it is affecting them.
Florida beaches are empty because racism don't pay the bills. Now those beaches and businesses are empty in Florida, and the business owners are scratching their head. They're like, I don't understand what's happening and why this is going on. This is what happens when you build your entire platform on bigotry and fear. When you spend years attacking immigrants, the very people who visit your state, spend money in your hotels, eat at your restaurants, buy your tacky ass beach towels, don't act shocked when they stop showing up. And understand, it's not just tourists who aren't coming to Florida. When you squeeze the working class like a lemon, there is no juice left for joy. You think people got beach money right now? People can't even afford to go outside. And all those Trump tariffs, those weren't on corporations. Those were Trump taxes on us. Prices went up, jobs got cut, and now folks are choosing between groceries and gas, not plane tickets to Clearwater. And y'all made Florida a hostile environment, honestly. And not just for immigrants, but also for black people, LGBTQ, teachers, hell, even librarians. Y'all made the beach a battleground. So now it's just you and those overpriced souvenir stands collecting dust. And now conservative business owners are mad. But they're mad at the consequences of the policies that they voted for. Baby, this ain't karma. This is cause and effect. Conservative policies destroy communities, period. So ask yourself, how long are you guys going to continue to vote against your own business?
You know, these people, when they voted, they thought that DJT policies, it will only affect minority people and black people. They didn't know that DJT policy will come out and affect them. So right now they're coming out crying simply because of how economy it is and also how the policies it is affecting them. We are seeing that the farmers, they are going bankrupt simply because they don't have workers. We have been seeing them coming out crying because their crops it is rotting in the farms. They don't have workers. We have been seeing also how they have been crying because of the tariff, how the tariff it has been affecting them. And also we have been seeing majority of white Americans who have been coming out crying. They cannot even afford basic necessity. They cannot afford medical bills. They cannot even pay their house rent, their mortgage. So right now, these MAGA supporters, they are in crisis. And also, the people who are coming out and crying more, it is them. And you can see that the ones who voted for the others to be punished. So it is like God came through for the black people and minority people. God came through for them. Because these policies, it was only to punish them, but God overturned it, and right now it is punishing the same people who voted for these policies. So guys, I want you to continue watching the rest of the video. Kindly remember to give a video a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. All credits goes to the original creators of the video.
Florida is now experiencing a complete collapse. Over the next 3 years, you will see housing prices on the East Coast and the West Coast and the south of Florida drop 30 to 40% over the next 3 years. It's that dire in Florida. And what's causing it all? People are moving out. People simply can't afford to live in Florida. And many people can't afford to fix their homes from the latest storms. It's only going to get worse. If you have property to sell in Florida, you better hurry. You better aggressively get it done. Because over the next 3 years, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. It's going to make the 2008 crash look like a picnic. So what is going on right now? You're seeing mass exodus of people. People leaving Florida in droves because it's simply not affordable. Insurance is too high. HOA is too high. Everything is too high. And even with the prices coming down, it's not going to matter. Nothing is going to save Florida at this point except for a 30 to 40% drop because it's just too expensive to live there. And the economics aren't there. Like and follow for more. We'll be talking about it for a long time.
I was a Trump supporter. I don't know how long I can keep doing this. I have a construction company. And not a fucking thing is getting done. This is what I get. This is what I fucking get. Nothing but white boys. It takes 4 days to do a one-day job. I might have fucked up.
I just wanted to come on here and say I'm sorry. I voted for him and I thought he was going to make things better for folks like us.
I talk to veterans daily that have been through all kinds of wars, and I'm never a fan of this. He was a no-war president, and now we're at war.
He thought this was going to be simple. It's more complex than that. An idiot could have figured this out, but unfortunately not our president. Look at where we were before the war. The Strait was open. He already claimed he'd obliterated their nuclear capacity. Well, either he lied then or he's lying now.
Get them legal status somehow.
Now, before we get going, this gentleman here is in the construction business in Florida. He goes by the name of Honest Hammer on TikTok, so I will just refer to him as Hammer. But he made this video in response to what he himself is witnessing on the construction sites that he's a part of in regards to the undocumented immigrants who are working on those construction sites with him. Let's hear what he has to say.
I've seen a lot of the videos, and it seems like a lot of people are just yelling and they're mad. I don't understand why this is happening. I don't understand it either. It's not what I voted for.
But this is what you voted for. You may not have been aware of what you were voting for, but this is what you voted for. If you look back at the first Trump administration, he had every immigrant that was here under TPS, the temporary protective status, at risk for deportation. He had the whole TPS program at risk. But that's on you to either remember or go look and seek out yourself the past actions of this president. Because if you're only watching right-wing media, no one over there is going to tell you anything about that. That's why it's so important that we break out of our echo chambers.
I voted for the criminals to be removed, 100%. But there are a lot of hardworking immigrants in this country that are building this country. Going back to when I started building the Hard Rock, 85% probably immigrants, all hardworking people providing for their families. Talk to them, get to see their kids on their phones, hear them all interact, have great days, loving what they do.
Because they're people. They're people. And if we're stuck in our echo chambers, the right-wing echo chamber has made you believe that they're criminals.
I've got a solution. The solution, President Trump, is to not deport these gentlemen right away, these hardworking gentlemen and women that have been removed from these job sites. Get them legal status somehow under a work visa. Background check them. Do whatever you need to do to make sure they're not criminals, but let's get them legalized.
Hammer, we had a chance to do that. We actually had many chances to do that. One chance we had was in the run-up to the election in 2024. There was a bill ready for a vote, a bipartisan bill. It would have provided massive amounts of funds for new technology to have at the border, for new enforcement officers to be hired, for new immigration judges to be appointed, and the courts expanded to process asylum claims faster. Donald Trump torpedoed that bill because he was more interested in having the issue to run on then the problem's solved. But that wasn't our only chance. We had a couple more chances too.
Egg prices are going up and food and energy costs haven't gone down. Now Trump supporters are regretting their vote for Donald Trump. Yeah, no, we're not, because we understand how the economy works and what set that off. See, Donald Trump is killing it when it comes to his executive orders, and you guys can't have it, so you're throwing out this deflection, but you're leaving out the important bits. Under the Biden administration, they slaughtered over 100 million egg-laying chickens. Right before Trump took office, in November and December of 2024, they ordered the slaughter of about 20 million egg-laying chickens. See, these price increases were predicted in 2024 because of that event, because when you wipe out the supply, the costs will go up if the demand doesn't change. Then we jump over to food and energy price. Well, Donald Trump's only been in office for a week. And it's interesting because when Donald Trump did the debates and did interviews, he was very clear on what you have to do to try to keep prices down, because you just can't reverse the economy like that. And you guys are now admitting that Biden was at fault for the increases. But he said you have to drill, bring down energy costs, and you have to find efficiencies in the supply chain. So what did Biden do right before he left office? Signed an executive order on drilling and tied it directly to the 1953 Continental Outer Banks Shelf Land Act, which means they were preventing drilling from the Gulf of Mexico, the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, and the North Bering Sea. See, so your president immediately went and made a move that was counterproductive to bringing your costs down, and somehow you're going to tie that to Donald Trump when these events took place before he's been in office, and he's only been there for 8 5.
And as president, I will work with Congress to create, at long last, a pathway to citizenship for hardworking immigrants who have been here for years.
Don't listen to the Democrats. I promise you, not a single Republican is regretting voting for Donald Trump. I've been seeing this weird rhetoric all over my For You page over the past couple of weeks because I think that a lot of you guys are starting to watch Candace Owens and her podcast recently. No, we don't. 100,000 fucking 52%. We do not regret voting for Donald Trump.
This is going to be a follow, unfollow, or block me type of a situation. And if you don't like cussing, this is where you want to click off. I keep seeing these videos from former Trump supporters about how they regret their vote and they've woken up. And then I keep seeing all these videos from independents and Democrats that we should be welcoming and be kind and be understanding. Let me say this with my whole fucking chest. Fuck no and fuck you, and here's why. I don't forgive you and I never will. And this is where most of you are going to click the fuck off because you don't want to hear the hard truth. This isn't about one policy or one mistake the way you're trying to make it seem. This is about a man who ripped the soul of our nation in half. While you stood by in a MAGA hat, he poisoned our culture. He mocked, bullied, and threatened anyone who didn't swear absolute loyalty to him. Like a fucking dictator. He stoked a rage inside of people that gave fascists and racists permission to come screaming out of the fucking woodwork. But that wasn't enough for you. You voted for him not once, not twice, but 3 fucking times. Now you want back in because something finally touched you? Because now your rights, your family, your life is somehow threatened? You didn't care when he said he was going to carry out mass deportations. You didn't care when he vowed to dismantle our goddamn government. You didn't care about the environment, women's rights, civil rights, or even fucking democracy itself. Simultaneously called yourself a fucking patriot. You didn't care about honor or decency. You supported a man who was brutally unkind, who hates the poor, hates anyone that's not white. You called yourself a fucking Christian while supporting it. You watched this fucker orchestrate an insurrection, but that wasn't enough for you because you still showed up. Now, when the flames are licking your fucking porch, you want to come stand behind our shield? The same fucking snowflakes you've been mocking for a decade? Now we're supposed to welcome you? You put the bullets in Trump's gun. I want you to stay regretful. I want you to live in that discomfort every motherfucking day. The same way that every person you voted to hurt is gonna live in it. You don't get applause from me or from anybody on my side for pointing out the fire when you lit the fucking match. Don't come to us for comfort. Damn sure don't expect trust, because 4 years and a better Republican candidate, your ass is gonna vote red again. And even if you do vote blue, do not think for one goddamn second that you voting blue in a future election erases the fucking hatred and destruction that you have unleashed on this country. We don't need you to feel better about yourself. That's not our job. We need you to make it right without asking for absolution. So no, you will never get absolution from me or anybody like me. You will get spun around and pointed at a fucking mirror. You will get it from yourself by showing up every goddamn day to undo the damage that you have done, by confronting your own community, by speaking out and standing up against the same spineless piece of shit politicians that you supported and helped put into office. You want to unfuck this nation? Earn it. With your actions, not your fucking words.
To go through something like this behind bars. He has lived in Florida for more than half his life and worked for the same construction job for many decades. Every day that goes without him here is a day lost forever. This is about being human, about love, connection, and presence. The one thing he needs the most is the one thing that we're being kept from giving him, which is us. I feel that it would be immoral and inhumane to let a man who is suffering, who is terminally ill, spend what little time he has left in pain and isolation. Please don't let him die in a cell. Please don't let his vital memories be of those of pain and isolation. The American flag stands for compassion, kindness, liberty, and justice for all. We're all human, and today I'm asking for one human act of compassion to please let my dad come home.
My vote, again, is to deny the request for conditional medical release.
When I voted for Trump, I supported the very system that allows this kind of cruelty to happen. I've spent the last few days reflecting, and I feel like I came through some sort of revelation. I questioned my beliefs, my choices, and my role in all of it. My vote wasn't just a mistake, it was the ultimate betrayal of the very people that I come from. I feel like living in South Florida, surrounded by Republican voices, I was brainwashed into thinking I was one of them. I fell for the propaganda, the normalization of cruelty, and I believed the lies that gave me a false sense of security and belonging. I was convinced that voting for Trump was for the economy or against crime, when in reality I was supporting a man and a movement that dehumanizes people. He basically built his platform on targeting immigrants, spreading hate, and pushing policies that ultimately broke families apart. I regret my vote so deeply, and if I could go back and change it, I would. I'm reading, listening, learning, and unlearning everything that I thought I knew. And to anyone who is feeling the same regret as I am, I want you guys to know that there's still a way for us to move forward, but it starts with honesty first. To every single person who has been affected by the choice that I made, I am so sorry. A lot of you aren't going to forgive me, and I'm really not expecting anyone to, but I just want everyone to know that I'm going to move forward with more compassion, continue educating myself, and fight for those who can't fight for themselves.
Oh, Florida. You in danger, girl. First off, I am from Florida. I grew up there. I went to UCF. I love Disney World. And I also escaped as quickly as I possibly could. If you have been wondering which states are going to get hit the hardest by these healthcare cuts, you guessed it, Florida is at the top of the list. Home of Governor Rambo, where you have 2 Republican senators and 20 of your 28 House of Representatives are Republicans. You effed around, and now you are going to find out. Let's jump into the data. You know the one thing that Florida ranks last in this country? They rank last in the number of residents who are on employer-funded healthcare at 40%. You might be inclined to argue with me and say, well, that's probably because there is one single head of household who is on employer-funded healthcare coverage, and the rest of their family is also on that healthcare coverage. No, the data does not agree with you. An estimated 4.7 million Floridians are on ACA Obamacare marketplace insurance, representing 27% of the under 65 population. The national average is 8.8%. Was ACA perfect? No, there's not a single educated American who would say that it was perfect. Was it better than your premium skyrocketing? Yeah, I think so. Let's zoom in and look at Holmes County, Florida, just south of the border of Alabama, where in the 2024 general election, they voted for Donald Trump with 89.9% of their vote. You aggressively voted for this, Holmes County, Florida. In 2024, for individuals, the average cost of ACA Advantage Silver Premium Insurance for Holmes County, Florida, earning less than $35,000 per year was $312 per month. With the ACA subsidies in place and factoring in healthcare inflation, that number was anticipated to rise to $349 per month in 2026, an increase of around 11% in costs. But you voted for these subsidies to go away, and now your cost is $680 per month. That is an increase of 118%. It turns out that racism is very expensive.
People are fucking leaving. Like, we're all leaving. Rachel and I are leaving. Like, we can't fucking... Please watch his entire video. It shows you just the frustration of so many people in Florida, and how so many people in Florida, it's not reported in the news, it's not really talked about, but there are thousands and thousands of people preparing and getting ready to leave because Florida has just gotten ridiculously expensive, and it's number one. Yeah, Florida's number one in inflation in the country. That's right. Florida is number one in inflation. So here's a guy explaining how much it used to just cost to rent a small place, and it's more than doubled. And going to the grocery store is ridiculous. But just living all around Florida, when you're number one in inflation, it's just one thing after another, after another, after another. And I have so many friends that live down in Florida, and many of them are just like, it's just too much. It's just gotten to be too much. We've had enough. We're moving out. So expect over the next couple of years a huge migration out of Florida. Yeah, you may still get some of the rich folk going down there, but the average Joe, no, the average Joe's leaving.
This pro-Trump business owner in Florida is finding out the hard way. John Wong runs a small grocery store in Florida. His family started it back in 1983 after immigrating from Hong Kong. And for decades it thrived, a local staple for Asian ingredients in Manatee County. Then, Trump got elected, and everything changed. But don't feel too bad. John supported Trump. He believed the promises: lower grocery costs, better trade deals, help for small businesses. Instead, Trump's tariffs crushed his store. Most of John's inventory comes from China, the Philippines, and Vietnam, the exact countries hit with massive tariff hikes. He used to pay $2.75 for a box of Mabo tofu sauce. Now, that same box is $5. Every shipment that arrives, the prices go up. Again, he's tried to not raise prices on his customers, many of them elderly living on fixed incomes, with one of his customers now rationing a can of sardines just to get by. John's store has been around for 43 years. Now, it's barely hanging on. And the worst part for John? He voted for the guy who's directly responsible for driving it straight into the ground. John told reporters, "Is there any future? Is this the American dream?" Hey John, this is the dream that you voted for, so have fun with it.
Ron DeSantis and his hate-filled agenda, which of course is also being pushed by the Republicans in the Florida State House. They have solid control of this state and have for many decades now. But this agenda of hate is costing the state economy here in Florida billions of dollars already. Here's what's happening. Two conventions that were supposed to bring in literally thousands and thousands and thousands of tourists to the state of Florida have canceled. There was a women's technological leadership conference that was supposed to bring in 16,000 people due to Florida's mainly the 6-week abortion ban, but also they mentioned every other hate-filled piece of legislation that DeSantis has signed, so they've pulled out. A nurses' convention has pulled out of this state, robbing us of thousands of people, spending probably thousands of dollars. And of course, we cannot forget the fact that Disney shut down a multi-billion-dollar planned project that would have brought a couple thousand high-paying jobs to the state of Florida. So we're being robbed of future economic activity.
So guys, I hope you have watched those compilations of video and you can see how these Florida Maga supporters, how they are crying, how they are coming out, telling us exactly they are regretting for voting for DJT. You know, these people right now, they are coming out crying simply because they want black people to have sympathy on them. They want help from black people. You know, when black people, they were protesting in America about the same challenges and struggle that these people that are going through, these people that have never come out and listened to the cries of the black people, they were all they were ignoring the black people, because black people that have been protesting, these people, they ignored them. These people, they were ignorant simply because it wasn't affect them. But right now you can see these policies, it has turned against them, and right now it is affecting them, and that's why you are seeing them coming out crying, telling us how they are going through, how the economy it is sad, simply because it is affecting them. So by them coming out and try to tell black people, it seems like these people, they want help from black people. And simply because you know that when after election ended, we saw how black people, they came out and tell these people that they are going to relax, because black Americans, they are tired becoming American savior. You know, black people also, they try to tell these people what it is about to come. They try to warn these people to stop all these, to stop voting for DJT, because of DJT policies. It will not only affect black people, but also it will affect them. But these people, they ignore the warnings of black people. So black people, they saw how these people, they ignore them, and after election, they told them that they are going to relax. They are going to relax. So right now you can see black people that are showing no interest, they are showing no sign of help, simply because they tried to warn these people, but they didn't listen. So right now you can see these people, they are now waking up, simply because of how these policies, it is affecting them. And also, I've been telling these people that these people, they need to know that the suffering, the 400 years of black people suffering, it is coming to an end. So right now also, it is their time also to suffer, because God gave them time. God gave these people time to change, to ask for forgiveness, to pay black people their reparation. But these people, they have never come out and pay black people their reparation. So these people, they thought that by them coming out and paying black people their reparation, maybe black people, they will be more successful than them. That's why these people also, they've been not wanting to make their own system to be equal, because what black people, they've been fighting in America, they've been fighting justice and equality for all people. Black people, they have not been fighting or protesting in the street for themselves only. They've been trying to fight for the equality of all Americans and justice for all Americans. But these people, they never saw that. These people, they were ignorant, simply because their system, the system, it was protecting them, and their system, it has been always against black people. But right now you can see their own system, it has started to fail, and it has started also to affect them. And that's why you can see how they're coming out and showing concern by telling us how they are now being affected, how they are in crisis. So guys, I just want also to read some of the comment and see what majority of black people, they've come out also and say in the comment section. This one is saying that as the saying goes, I feel nothing. They are only sorry because it is affecting them. And that's one I've been telling you, that these people, they are sorry simply because it is affecting them. But if it wasn't affect them, these people, they could not come out and say sorry. Now this one saying that everything is working out well for Trump. This one is saying that the truth hurts, and she told you so. So reap what you sow. Exactly. So right now they are reaping what they sow. This one saying that, hey there, I am curious to know how those of you in the US are finding the healthcare system, and under the concept associated with Trump. What's been your experience with it? This one is saying that those slaughterhouses burned down. One was by accident, and the second one was because of a virus. Now this one is saying that I have zero sympathy, compensation, or empathy for any of you who were dumb enough to vote against your own interest, and sincerely hope you all suffer 100 times more than the rest of us who saw the train coming and go the hell of the track. So you can see this one is telling them that these people, they need to suffer 100 times, because the people, black people, they try to tell them what it is about to come, but they didn't listen. Black people, they saw everything. And also, you know, the reasons to why black people, they are not suffering right now, it is because also black people, they know how to survive when also economy it is very bad. Black people that have been going through this for over 400 years, they have experience, they know how to survive. But for these people, they don't know how to survive, and that's why you can see how they are crying. And now this one is saying that this one is saying that I vote for the criminal to be removed. Trump removed the criminal from the prisons where they were put so they could harm people. Trump then put hard-working people, often American citizens, in concentration camps. Yes, concentration camps. The people of the US are just as guilty as the people of Germany in the 1940s. Just on a smaller scale, Trump will be gone soon. He will die, or his term will run out, or we will impeach, convict, and remove his lying criminal as now. This one is saying that. So you can see how people that are coming out and show how they have no sympathy to these black people because of their bad, to the Maga farmers or Maga people, simply because of their bad decisions. So kindly guys, remember to give a video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. See you on my next one guys. Bye bye.